So just talk to us a little bit first off. How'd you get started playing baseball?
Well, I kind of played a lot of sports growing up, really. I kind of started out playing golf. That was kind of my main passion growing up. And then I kind of, through rec leagues and everything, obviously I played basketball, football, baseball. I didn't really have a love for one sport until I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I started liking baseball a lot. I kind of knew I was going to get pretty good at it. So I kind of just took off with it, and I just loved it so much. So.
Is that when you started to go and said forget golf at that point?
Yeah, pretty much. Like at that point, I knew like talent wise, I was probably better at baseball. So I kind of focused. Even my passion kind of just flipped. I kind of just flipped the switch, and I just worked all day, every day with baseball, and that's kind of how it happened. So.
And so, how did you end up at USC Aiken?
Well, out of high school, I mean, I was pretty good, but I wasn't like the most talented player. USC Aiken was my only offer out of high school, so and I took a visit here. Coach Thomas, took me on a visit, and I kind of just fell in love with it immediately. I live in Augusta, Georgia, so it's really close to home, and that's what kind of struck with me. I wanted my parents to be able to come watch me play baseball and not let it be a struggle on them to come watch me play. So that was huge, and I kind of liked the campus and just the small campus feel. I loved it, and I kind of just fell in love with it. And honestly, like a few days later, I called Coach Thomas back and said, "I'm coming. I mean, I'm all in."
So, how has it been to have your parents be able to be so close to you, be able to watch just about every single game?
It is the greatest thing ever. I mean, because I feel like they pay attention more to the games than I do. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not locked into the games, but I mean, they're fantastic. I mean, they're every home game, every away game. It doesn't matter if we're playing in Seattle, Washington. I mean, they were going to be the first fans there, and they've been tremendous through my entire career, and I can't thank them enough, really. I mean, they've been fantastic.
You're one of only a handful of people who've been here for every single year of your career. So, what is that like to be one of the only ones that's been here for every single year?
It's kind of interesting because, like, obviously our team's identity has kind of shifted since my freshman year. My freshman year, we were big, strong dudes, hit a lot of home runs, couldn't really pitch great, but we were decent at that. And now it's kind of flipped the switch. We're focused on pitching, and hitting wise, we're just gonna, situational hit and stuff like that. So our identity's kind of shifted, but I mean, it's just kind of interesting to see, really, kind of the focus on the leadership and everything with Coach Thomas and everything. It's been good. So.
And so last year, was it abbreviated season? What was it like to be to be through the middle of just over 20 games of the season?
Yeah.
Cut short.
It was something else. I mean, we had just, I don't know if we had won the series against Georgia College or not, but we were right in the middle of that series, and I mean, we were feeling pretty confident as a team at that point, and we were just started off running, and out of nowhere, like we arrived to the field on Friday, and we had heard some other leagues canceled, and we were kind of thinking it was gonna we didn't know, and like. We were at the field on Friday getting ready to play Columbus State because they were coming that day. And we kind of got news that they weren't coming. And we were like, oh, no, like what's going on? And then we were kind of chilling in the dugout, and Coach Thomas came in, and he said, yeah, we're done. Our season's over. And it kind of didn't hit me until about like 3 hours later. Like we were all kind of just chilling in the dugout and like stuff, kind of hanging around the field. And I mean, just me like walking down to the bullpen and walking around, I started crying. Like it was terrible. Because at that point, the NCAA had announced that we were getting an extra year, so I thought my career was over. And that's what all our other seniors thought too. And it was just terrible. But yeah, thank God the NCAA gave us another year. So,
like, what was your mindset like before, like when you knew the season was canceled but didn't know that you were going to have another year?
I honestly thought I was done. I mean, at first I was a little shocked that they gave us another year, but yeah, I was just kind of devastated because like I can't. It's just terrible that my career is going to end off of something I can't really control, and it was just kind of hard to swallow that. That's when it kind of hit me really. But thankfully they gave us another year, and once they gave us the news that they gave us another year, I mean it was all right. This is off season, month one. We just got to keep working. So. Yeah.
So was there any doubt that you come back for another year?
It was no doubt I was coming back. I was going to graduate originally this past fall, and so the rule was you have to be like enrolled, like eligibility for every semester, but you can still come back. And so I picked up. I'm a marketing major, and I picked up a management minor to kind of take more classes and be eligible for the spring. So I was all about coming back, and I didn't want to end my baseball career on somebody telling me I couldn't play. So that's kind of what drove me.
So what's the season been like so far, knowing that, hey, you get the extra year back? So like, what are your thoughts playing this season?
Was honestly like, even though we got swept our first series, like even just step on the field, it was like, wow, this is awesome. I mean, it just felt good to be out there. But team-wise, I think we're starting to find our identity pretty well. Obviously the first series in North Georgia was kind of tough. That was kind of like a punch in the mouth wake-up call. But I think we're starting to find our identity. I mean, our hitters, the past two series, they have been carrying us. I mean, they've been so well. Our starting pitching has been fantastic. Like Lindsey and Stober, they've been great. Stober was great yesterday. So we're starting to find our identity a little bit, and like I think once we're kind of getting in a role now. I think, especially like with games and practice now, and I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Your role on the field has changed a little bit from the reliever to a starter. So what's that been like?
It's been kind of interesting, like a reliever, it's always like you come in, you're always like you got to be a dog like immediately. I mean, you don't really have time to mess around. With a starter, you kind of have some leeway, but I've kind of figured out it's kind of more similar like to relieving, because when my first few starts, like earlier in my career, I would kind of struggle getting past this first and second because I thought you would have to stretch it out for 5 or 6 innings, but you have to attack even in the first batter. And I kind of had that mindset going into this year, and I've had a little bit of success like the first couple starts. So, but I like starting a lot. It's more routine based. It's kind of like my entire career I've kind of been the emergency man. Like when stuff goes wrong, I'll come in and fix the situation. But I'm more than willing to come in any situation, and I tell Coach Thomas that a lot. Even starter, reliever, anything. If we need a jam, I feel confident I could come in and put up a zero. And I feel confident in all our pitchers too. All of our guys are dominant when they get on the mound. They have great stuff. So all of us can come in. All of us probably could start. All of us could relieve. All of us could do anything. So I have confidence in our staff a lot.
What do you want to take away from the season of baseball?
Obviously I want to win. Winning is huge for me. But just getting back with my teammates. I know like everybody else interview, that's all they say, but that's so crucial for me. Because these guys are my best friends. I'm gonna remember each guy the rest of my life, and it's just so good to see everybody back on the field and back doing what we're supposed to be doing. So it's just great.
What's been the biggest lesson for you through all of this with the COVID stuff?
Just not taking anything for granted. Your career could be sucked out of you with just one decision. That's kind of my motivation this past fall, and now just always work, because you never know when it's going to stop. You never know when it's going to be taken from you. So just keep working and control what you can control. So.